Howdy y'all, it's Chris with Shell Fitness, your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today we're going to be going over the difference between a flat bench and an incline bench. But before we do that, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Shell Fitness. Also, if you want to become a trainer, Shell Fitness Internship. So, we got flat, we got incline. Which one's better? And the answer, it depends. I know we hate that answer, but that's typically the answer today when it comes to fitness and nutrition. What's the best? Well, it depends. If you're doing a ton of bench press, I'd be willing to bet incline is probably better for you for a month or two. If incline hurts your shoulder, don't do incline for now. Stick with flat bench. And we're going to go over the anatomical differences. So the main thing, we got this big muscle right here, the pectoralis major. What I'll have our students do is put your hands on your chest, not your partners, you'll get in trouble for that, right here. So you got 3 fingers that go to this middle bone. That middle bone is your sternum. That's the sternal head of the pec major. Your pinky is going to the ribs, which are called your costals. It's the costal region of your pec major, the lower. And then you have the thumb, which is going to the clavicle, which is the clavicular. So in bro lingo, we got the upper, middle, and lower chest. I want that block look, so do more of these. You want the upper part, do incline. Well, let's go over the anatomy of each portion. It's one muscle, 3 parts, very similar to the deltoid. So the pec major, clavicular region is going to flex. So if you just stand here and put your arm up, sagittal plane, here's flexion, you're going to feel the upper part of your chest is engaged. This part isn't. So the higher up you go, you're going to work more of that pec. So here's some exercises that you can do. High chest flies. One of my favorites. You sit down like this. Come here. Going to work the upper part of the chest. If you want to do like in a half kneeling position, you're going to get a lot more of the core. Pull throughs. It's going to work the upper part of the chest. Incline is the most notorious. Flat bench is going to work the sternal head. It's going to be horizontal, adduction, but also adduction is going to get the sternal head. The lower region is primarily going to be adduction. So think of it like a push-up. When you push here, it's your chest, your tris, your deltoids, your serratus, some other muscles, but primarily your chest and tris. When you go closer, it's primarily triceps because you have more elbow flexion, extension, elbow extension. When you go wider, less elbow extension, therefore it's going to be more chest. So the spectrum of the two is when you're upright, like in a military, it's going to be more upper. When you go more to a decline, it's just going to be more lower, which is the costal region. So instead of saying which one's better, focus on the tension. So do bench or decline first. Optimize that tension. Get maybe 3 to 6 to 8 reps. And then go to dumbbell incline. Don't just stick with barbell. You got to get a little variety in there. Get some dumbbell, but also get some body weight, regular push-ups, incline push-ups, one-arm push-ups. Get all the regions. At the end, isolate your chest, which is going to be chest flies in the transverse, which is horizontal adduction. Get some flies down here, which will be for the block, adduction. You notice that in the frontal plane, we stop right here, but we can come in front of the transverse and get more activation. And then last, do some chest flies right here, which are going to be flexion, sagittal, which is the upper part. So there's 17 muscles of the shoulder. Remember those? Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapularis. That's the rotator cuff. Then do the majors and minors. So teres major, rhomboid minor, pec major underneath it, the pec minor. Then the ones that you can feel, the biceps brachii, triceps brachii, the deltoid, trapezius, latissimus dorsi, and the 3 challenging ones. Coracobrachialis, which works with flexion, serratus anterior, levator scapula. So those 17 muscles, one muscle is the pec major, of which you're going to put more emphasis on the upper, which is the clavicular region when you do incline. You're going to get more sternal costal region when you do bench. You're going to get a lot more sternal costal when you do decline. Which one's better for you? Probably the one you aren't doing enough of in a pain-free range of motion. For most bros, you're going to be stronger on bench, weaker on incline. Do incline more, but work on the full range of motion. So make sure that you have proper shoulder mobility to get those hands behind the back. If you do experience pain on incline, maybe go to a floor press for a little bit. Here's some rocket science for you. Eliminate incline bench press, maybe for a couple weeks if you have extreme shoulder pain. Work on stability. Do chaos push-ups. Do push-ups on a Bosu ball, going back and forth. I know I hate the Bosu ball, right? But if maybe you're experiencing pain because we got to be stable before we're strong. We got to be strong before we're powerful. And if you lack that stabilization, your nervous system is letting you know you need to fix that. It doesn't want you to get in that range. So the AC joint, which is one of the 4 joints in the shoulder, AC, acromioclavicular, you got your glenohumeral, it's your sternoclavicular, and then you have your scapulothoracic. The AC joint, a lot of times when we do the pressing, it comes back and it gets a pretty good stretch and we don't have the mobility so our shoulder hurts. So there's some fun little factoids for you, the difference between incline and regular bench. Which one's better? No difference. It depends on what your goals are. If your goal is to get the upper part of your chest, maybe do a month or more of upper pressing, incline pressing. If you want that block, get more lower chest flies, maybe get some decline in there. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Show Up Fitness. You want to become a trainer, Show Up Fitness internship.